Hi, writers. My name is Rebecca Pickens. I'm a certified book coach and developmental editor and host of Self Editing Essentials, a group coaching program for novelists and memoir writers. Today, I want to talk to you about one of my favorite services that I provide writers, and that is one-on-one book coaching. But before we even do that, I want to back up and talk about what book coaching is. Book coaching is still kind of a new service that lots of writers have heard little bits about, but don't necessarily know exactly why it exists or what it entails. Book coaches are stepping in to help to provide support that agents and editors used to have more time to provide. That means brainstorming with writers, hearing out their different ideas, providing that support, that emotional support we all need when we're doing a creative project, providing editing feedback, critiques, helping with find an agent, all the different parts of the writing life. Book coaches are there to help support. The way that one-on-one book coaching works is that this is a very customizable program that can be designed to meet you as a writer wherever you're at. I work with writers at all stages of the process. So that means I work with writers who have never written a word of fiction or of a memoir in their lives, and they're just so excited to start working. And maybe those ideas are still percolating in their minds and they don't quite know where to begin. And in those instances, I'm really there as a sounding board to help you organize your ideas, to create an outline if that's helpful, and to really provide you with a launch pad to get started on your project. I work with writers who are in the middle of the process, who have a draft and are sort of sorting through, and they're getting stuck along the way and need someone to brainstorm with. I'm there for that. And I also work with award-winning writers who have many books published and have just maybe decided to branch out and try something new and would like some support for that. And sometimes work with writers who also have representation from a literary agent, but it's just not going the way they expected this time. And their book is not landing with their agent or with a publisher. And I will help them refine what they're working on and really figure out the heart of their story and the best way to get it out there on the page. I love working with writers at all stages. It's just a huge pleasure and a privilege that I get to do this kind of work. So, one of the things I pride myself on about this one-on-one coaching package is that it's highly, highly customizable. That means we spend a lot of time talking first and really figuring out what it is that you need from this relationship. So, each in other words, each coaching program is going to look a little bit different depending on what it is that the writer is looking for. But the overview I'm going to give you right now is a very good idea of what you can expect from a one-on-one book coach. Typically, I will ask writers to submit on a weekly basis. We decide a day that works for the writer and for me, and that becomes the day that they submit up to 5,000 words from their manuscript. Now, some writers get really overwhelmed when they hear 5,000 words and they think there's no way I can do that every week. And that is not a problem. Word count is not the point. The point is the process, and the point is that you are hitting milestones that we identify along the way as important in order for you to achieve your goal. It's just that up to 5,000 words is something that I can reasonably provide feedback for on a weekly basis. So within 48 hours, you'll have my feedback, which entails very in-depth line edits for whatever it is that you've submitted, and also an email describing potential next steps for what you might want to do to move forward. In between your submission period, you are welcome to email me and ask questions or make comments about my comments, whatever it is that you need to keep moving forward. I can provide. And once a month, we'll hop on a Zoom call and talk about what the month was like for you, to talk about the feedback that you've received, and then we make a plan on how to move forward into the next month. And that's how we work together. Now, there are definitely writers who need something a little bit different, and that is okay. That's the beauty of this. We can modify this to meet your needs. So if you are in a process right now where you're not really generating a lot of material, you're not writing, but maybe you're doing a lot of research for a memoir, or you're doing an outline, or any number of different things that are coming up that mean you don't have pages to share. Instead, we can hop on a Zoom call. So I'm working with a writer right now. We hop on a Zoom call every week because that's what she needs right now. She's still figuring out her why. She's figuring out who her audience is. And she finds that verbal processing makes that a much more efficient process. Other writers may want to do an alternate thing where we read one week and we get on a call the next week and kind of go back and forth. My point in all of this is that there's some real flexibility, so we can customize this for your needs. Now, because this is such a high touch product and because, or service rather, and because it takes a lot of my bandwidth, I'm telling you, I get so into this work and I will think about your characters almost as much as you do. So I can't take a lot of people in this way. But right now, I do have a slot open. So if you are interested in one-on-one coaching, if this sounds interesting to you, please hop on a discovery call. I would love to hear about your project, and I'd love to see if this kind of support would be helpful to you. If you have any questions at all, just respond to this email and I will answer them. Or you can hop on a Zoom call with me. All right, happy writing.